How are you injury-wise? People were back.
Nate Landman was the only guy, that had the limitations. But he should be back on Wednesday. I'll give you a full-blown report on Wednesday. But other than that, I think everybody was status quo. Obviously, Fitz, had the little issue he had in the preseason, but he's just dealing with that. But other than that, we are doing pretty good.
Hey, Coach. I'm curious. So in the locker room, I asked the guys what emotions were going through their head heading into week one, and it didn't matter if they were new, if they were a vet. They said they still have jitters. Curious, what emotions are you feeling heading into week one?
My jitters don't usually hit till right before the national anthem starts. I was explaining this to Avery Williams one day. He was actually asking me in a preseason game. I said it always hits right around the national anthem. I don't know if it's the emotion of the national anthem or whatever it is, but then it goes off and it's like a grayness hits you and then it's time to go play. But in the preparation of it all, you build so much confidence in your process that you feel really calm on how you want to go about your business, how you want to handle it. So for a coach, it's a little different. It probably hits a little later when you lose control. Like right now, I got all the control. It's like, hey, here's what we're game planning, here's what we're doing, here's the process, here's the way we want to get there. You believe in that so hard. And then right when you lose that first part of control, it's like, oh, man, the guys got it. I hope they got it. Then you got a lot of confidence that they do have it just because of the process. So probably a little bit later as opposed to earlier like those guys in the preparation of it all. But that's the fun part of the game.
And speaking of that preparation, from OTAs to training camp through the preseason, what's really stood out about your team?
I just kind of like the anywhere, any place kind of mentality that the guys have, whether I change the schedule or not, whether it's a normal schedule, rhythm and routine, what we're used to, no matter what's happened and how we move the ball or move the chains on them, the guys just come out ready to go. I've been really impressed how they come back off breaks like today. We had a couple of those in the offseason and training camp. We had a couple of those from OTA days, and I just love the mentality and the mindset to get better every single time they're in the building. That's really stood out with this football team. There's a veteran-laced group with a bunch of young guys that really care, and that's a credit to our front office and the people that's going out and pick the players on our football team.
It's a lot of hope and excitement in week one for everyone around the league. How does this compare from previous years, even going back to maybe when the first time you were a full head coach? Is it the same? Is it the same feeling? Is it different? What is it like?
The first time I was a full-time head coach, probably a little bit more jitters back then, but a lot more comfort. For me, it's the same because it's the same edge, so to speak. So it's the same mentality to go out there and win the first game, the same mentality to go out there and find a way and the best ways to get you a win. It becomes all about winning. So it's the same edge. So it's really similar to what it always is, and just how you go about it with your mindset. I'm a little bit more nosy now when it comes to being more involved in offense, defense, and special teams in the kicking game, and it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun for me right now, just having a nice, relaxed sense and state of mind going into this game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Going back to OTAs, personally about the injury, you guys are not even sure if he's going to be back fully in time for training camp. Ended up being okay. He seems to be doing pretty well. Best case scenario as far as that goes with his health and then where I know that you got lost a couple of guys, of course, the injuries, but health-wise and kind of state of the team-wise, best case scenario.
I feel great about that. I got a real lot of confidence in our performance team and Jake and Griff and all those guys and what they've been able to do to keep us healthy, to be able to communicate the right way. I feel like we threw a really well done performance training camp, and how we want to get it done with the amount of reps that we're to get, the amount of stress that we had to cause. The stress and the rest all equaling out, and the work works. All those different things that happen with our guys, and really fired up where we are from an injury standpoint, where we are at this point. We got the unfortunate days in Miami that we had when we lost a couple guys, but other than that, man, it's been really well done by the performance team and our guys.
So you're saying those conspiracy theories that maybe someone else is starting the season are not true? Is that what you're saying?
Conspiracy? I didn't hear those. I didn't get any conspiracy. I'm usually pretty honest with you guys. Yeah, lead might start for us, but other than that, we're golden.
Had to ask, little tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I didn't
keep it light.
I didn't get it on the. I didn't get the conspiracy theories. Tori didn't tell me about that.
Any more meaningful in week one playing against Mike Tomlin, a guy that you know real well, and it's your another chance at a head coach, and you got him, this guy week one.
I answered this once before. I think I answered on the pivot, but not really. Not for me. It's more for him. He's the older statesman in this, and he looks on this with a lot of pride. And the guys that he's helped develop and the guys that he's been a part of, and he's certainly that for me. I certainly got a lot of respect for him. But, as we always will say, when we're going up against each other with gray matter. So not really.
It's funny because as much as like you know about him and as much as he knows about you, I almost feel like y'all don't know that much about each other's teams right now because of the nature of the preseason and also how much new is within both organizations. Does that almost make like this week 1 game more of like a coaching chess match than honestly any on the calendar?
Is who sees it best live, right? And then there'll be a lot of situations where you got to go look at it live and with the different players and the different formats. You know, Arthur's going to bring something different to those guys when it comes to offense. Their defense would be probably the most known thing that we know. And our offense and our defense have a different feel. You know, they know what it's going to be like or think what they know what it's going to be like. And same thing with our defense. So, you know, let's go out there and play the game and let's have fun. And let's go play that chess game that you love to play on Sundays or Mondays or Thursdays, whatever the case may be.
Following up on that, Coach, is week 1 any more challenging because you're looking for any additional indicators as far as preparedness? Or are you looking for indicators at all? Is that
There's a fine line. You know, you got to have your process and go through it. In week 1, obviously, you can always do too much, you know, as a coach, and you got to find a way to scale back and do what you're supposed to do and trust your process and know that's what you want to do and how you want to do it. So there's definitely a fine line on those things, you know, because you certainly can overthink yourself, which I've done before in the past, and just got to make everybody aware of that and make the people around you aware of that, and your decision makers have to be aware of that, you know, for the most part. So, and that being, you know, Marquise and Zach and Jimmy. Jerry Gray, you got to add that as well, myself. And we just got to go in there and just have a nice, relaxed state of mind and go do this together for the first time.
Is Simmons practicing fully now with the team?
Simmons did everything full today. You know, I usually come in and give you an exact percentage, but he did everything full today that was asked and required of him on a full go status. I didn't talk. Yeah, I think it was the first time. I think the last days I had him 50%, 75%. I'm not even sure what the last couple of days. It felt like 8 days ago. But, yeah, he had him at that point. He did everything today.
All good? No, yeah, like what you see?
All good. Love what I see. You know, real conscientious guy. Going to give us great effort, give us great veteran leadership, veteran presence, able to communicate, whether it be Richie, Jesse, whoever he's out there with, Alfred, and all those different packages that we have. These guys, they're doing a nice job.
So we could move him from 2 to 1.
I don't even look at that thing, man.
Yeah,
to be honest. There go your surprises right there. David tries to throw it in front of me. I'm like, whatever, David, just put it on the sheet.
Okay, well, we got to keep,
you know, like.
The people love the dip.
No, I hear you.
And Judon, I mean, Judon he's been a full go, but liking what you're seeing from him. Yeah,
outstanding. He's been excellent since he's been there. He's been a fun contributor. He's been a guy that's gone out there and practice. You definitely, I love to see the practice habits that he's already had coming here. He's probably been like that since Baltimore. Took it to the Patriots, and he's no different right now with his routine and his rhythm. He's real comfortable with that process we kind of talked about and what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. So that's remained to keep him at a high level, and he's going to keep doing that.
Anything else?
Coach, some of the guys we talked to, whether rookies or veterans, they talk about how once they have that first collision or once they hear the ball get kicked or take the first snap, that's when they know the season has started. What is kind of for a coach? What is kind of that first collision? What is that ball? What is the kind of first thing that lets you know, all right, it's underway now?
Yeah, for me, it's the national anthem. You know, it's probably different for everybody else. I just talked about it. But when that national anthem goes, man, it's like, oh, man, we are here. You know, let's go time, you know. And then particularly when you get a flyover, obviously we don't have a flyover with the dome. But it's the national anthem for me, you know, personally. Just one of those things that just kind of gets you going, lets you know it's time to go. And, you know, when you don't hear it often, but when you do, it's go time. You almost got the chill this weekend from the college games, you know.
We can fly out from the roof, so.
It's not open right now.
A drone.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.